Almost every client I've helped relocate to Inspirada has had the same 3 major realizations after they moved in. 2 of them, total wins, and 1 of them, not what they expected at all. I've also got a collection of Inspirada-specific truths that nobody's gonna tell you about, but you need to know before moving here. If you're thinking about moving to Inspirada, stay with me because this is the stuff nobody puts into the brochure. All right, let's start with the 2 good truths that clients realize. The first one's gonna be the neighbors. People that relocate here from out of state almost always mention this. They're expecting the Vegas thing where it's transient, people keeping themselves, but what they actually find is a neighborhood with people out on the trails walking their dogs, kids outside playing, and actually knowing who lives next door. Inspirada brings a true neighborhood vibe that quite frankly you can't find in all parts of the valley. The community Facebook pages are real, and they will range from very helpful to occasionally petty, but they'll keep you plugged into everything that's going on. You'll see posts about coyote sighting, the new restaurant that's opening up, a delivery that was sent to the wrong property. It's real community communication for better or worse. Truth number 2 is the access and also where it's headed. People see Inspirada's location on a map and they assume that they're gonna feel cut off, but it's actually the exact opposite. Everything you could possibly need on a day-to-day basis, like groceries, coffee shop, or quick bites, those are already in place in the community already. Everything else you could need are on St. Rose or Eastern Avenue, so really only like a 5 to 10 minute drive away. But here's what people don't really comprehend yet is that the Inspirada town center area is still in the very early stages. So there's a lot more dining and shops coming. There's a McDonald's that's currently being built, an ER. There's also a Sprouts Marketplace that's getting ready to be built. And that's not even including the Station Casino Resort that's coming, which is gonna be a great benefit to the entire community, similar to the Green Valley Ranch, the Red Rock Resort, and Durango resorts that have been built in other areas of town. What you really need to know about access is that this Inspirada Town Center area is gonna be the epicenter of West Henderson, and you can still buy into the community before everything's fully built out. Now, when it comes to access to the rest of the city, 25 minutes to the center of the strip and to the airport is not bad at all, and you can get to areas like Green Valley Ranch within about 15 to 20 minutes and Summerlin in 30 minutes. And if you're someone that could use easy access to and from Southern California, this is the best access to that area throughout the entire valley. We can get to the state line in about 30 minutes. Now the truth that catches people off guard, and it's the cell service. There are parts of Inspirada where the cell service is just not great. And I don't mean occasionally, I mean like you move in on day 1, you're standing in your kitchen and you've only got 1 bar of cell reception. Now, to be fair, it's not the entire community, but it is inconsistent enough to be aware of. And when you're in your home, I have great internet speeds and have been able to utilize Wi-Fi enabled calling, so it's not an issue when I'm in the home. But when you are out and about in the community, that's where it can come up. You can literally be out on one of the trails, need to fire off a text or make a call and realize you have no service. It can genuinely be frustrating. It is great to know though that the parks do have Wi-Fi access there. Plus, there's additional towers in the works, so cell service should get better over time. This is not a deal breaker, but definitely a truth you should know about. Now we're gonna get to some more quick hitting, honest truths that you need to know before moving to the Inspirada community. These are gonna be a bit general, so if you want insights that are specific to your needs, my contact info is in the description below. It's important to know that there's a few neighborhoods that seem like they're a part of the Inspirada community, but they're actually not a part of the master plan, so they don't have access to the Inspirada community pools and community events. They do tend to have their own smaller HOA and many times even a small residential pool for their own smaller neighborhood. So when you're buying, it's worth verifying. Another Inspirada item to be aware of is coyotes. You'll occasionally see them. They're really not a threat to humans, but you'll want to keep a close eye on your dogs and cats while they're outside. This is desert living, and it's another one of those truths that you need to be aware of. Another key truth that people don't really know about the entire Las Vegas Valley is it can get pretty darn windy here. And we're here at the base of the Sloan Mountains, so in Inspirada, you're gonna feel those winds even more. It might seem like a trivial item, but it's definitely something people talk about after they've moved in here and realize we have some extremely windy days. The wind's also gonna bring me to the point of landscaping in Inspirada. So the HOA has this as a xeriscape community, meaning it's desert landscaping. They can and will limit you on what types of plants and trees that you can use in your yard. Another key item to be aware of is while you're driving around the community, there's a couple of roundabouts that I notice people tend to have trouble with, especially if they're not in the community regularly, they're just visiting. So you wanna be an aware defensive driver, especially as you're driving through those roundabouts, and you'll be fine. I did a video on the 4 types of homes that you can buy here in Inspirada. It's definitely worth watching before you start shopping. And to end on a truth that I absolutely love about living here in Inspirada, it's the sunsets. There's nothing quite like it. We get views of the strip, views of the mountains, and the sky does crazy things in the desert landscape. I make these videos because people deserve real information before making a decision this big. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. And if you want to know more about what homes are currently available or the process of purchasing or selling a home in Henderson, Nevada, reach out to me directly. Links in the description.